Breaking news out of SmackDown tonight, and this one has sent shockwaves across the entire WWE Universe. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves, because what just happened on SmackDown may change the landscape of WWE forever. A confrontation that no one saw coming. A dark return that left the entire locker room frozen in disbelief. ALEISTER BLACK, yes, the Dark Father himself, has resurfaced in WWE, and he didn't just return quietly. He came face to face with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, in one of the most haunting, intense moments in SmackDown history. Hello viewers, if you're new here, please don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button for daily updates on WWE Raw. The return no one expected. Let's rewind the clock. Cody Rhodes, the Undisputed WWE Champion, the face of this era, the man who finished his story, walked into SmackDown tonight expecting a celebration. The WWE Universe was electric. The pyro hit, the crowd roared, and Cody was in full voice, soaking in the glory of another championship defense. But beneath that celebration, the air felt off. The lights flickered once, twice, the production trucks started picking up static. And then, the entire arena went black. And when those lights returned, standing behind Cody Rhodes was a shadow from his past. A man the WWE Universe thought was gone forever. ALEISTER BLACK, the embodiment of chaos, vengeance, and unholy calm, standing dead center in the ring, eyes locked on Cody, not saying a single word. And for the first time since WrestleMania, Cody looked genuinely afraid. The message behind the darkness. Now let's talk about why this confrontation means so much, because make no mistake, this wasn't random. ALEISTER BLACK didn't pick Cody Rhodes by accident. This was personal. This was symbolic. You see, when ALEISTER was released from WWE years ago, many fans blamed one man, Cody Rhodes, for being part of the new corporate machine, the poster boy for everything that's gone wrong in professional wrestling. A man who preaches freedom, legacy, and family, but stands as the very gatekeeper for others who never got their fair shot. And tonight, ALEISTER didn't just return. He came to expose the hypocrisy. He didn't need to say much, just one line, picked up faintly by the microphone's ringside. "You finished your story, Cody. Now I begin mine." That was the warning shot heard around the wrestling world. The crowd reaction and the fear in Cody's eyes. The WWE Universe didn't know how to react. Half the crowd screamed in excitement, the return of ALEISTER BLACK, but the other half stood silent, frozen, not believing what they were seeing. Because you could feel it. You could feel the tension. You could see it in Cody's face, the way his smile dropped, the way his posture changed. Cody Rhodes, the son of a legend, the face of this company, looked like he had just seen a ghost from a past he tried to bury. People forget, Cody and ALEISTER has unfinished business that goes way back to their early AEW days. They had wars, brutal, bloody wars, and ALEISTER won. He broke Cody once before. And now, under the bright lights of WWE, with Cody on top of the mountain, ALEISTER's here to drag him right back down into the darkness. And let's not pretend this is some friendly rivalry. ALEISTER didn't blink, didn't smile, didn't even breathe. That man was seething with purpose. The message from the Dark Father. Backstage, after SmackDown went off the air, a cryptic video began circulating across WWE's digital platforms. The footage, black and white, grainy, shot in ALEISTER's eerie cinematic style, showed him sitting alone in a dimly lit church, speaking directly into the camera. The serpent that sheds its skin believes it has been reborn, but a serpent remains a serpent, no matter how bright its scales shine. Cody Rhodes, your story is a lie. You didn't finish anything. You just built your throne higher, and now I'll burn it down, piece by piece. Those words, cold, deliberate, and venomous, set the tone for what's to come. ALEISTER isn't here for fame. He's not here for applause. He's here for destruction. And if you know ALEISTER Black's history, you know he doesn't play games. Every single time he stepped into the ring, somebody's career changed forever. WWE locker room reaction. And it's not just Cody who's feeling the chill tonight. Backstage reports indicate the entire SmackDown locker room was thrown into chaos after the show went off air. Superstars were reportedly whispering about whether this was planned or if ALEISTER Black truly went rogue. Sources tell WrestleScope that WWE officials were caught off guard by the darkness cue. Yes, even the production team didn't have ALEISTER's entrance in the rundown. This wasn't scripted television. This was real, and it was terrifying. How does that even happen? How does a man who hasn't been seen in over 2 years suddenly appear, lights off, no music, no cue, no authorization, and no one stops him? That's not storyline. That's infiltration. And if you think this is just another WWE return, you're wrong. Because the last time ALEISTER went off script, people got hurt, badly. Why Cody Rhodes is in danger. Now let's talk about Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, the man who built his entire brand around honor, respect, and destiny. He's standing at the top right now, but when you're at the top, there's nowhere left to go but down. And ALEISTER Black? He's the hand that pushes you off that edge. Cody's story may be heroic, but ALEISTER's story is tragic. He's the fallen prophet, the exiled soul, the one WWE didn't understand, the one who was let go because he was too dark, too different, too real. And now he's back to finish the story that Cody stole. Host, furious tone. Cody's light versus ALEISTER's darkness. But this isn't good versus evil. This is truth versus illusion. The fans divided opinions. Within minutes of that confrontation, the internet exploded. ALEISTER Black started trending #1 worldwide on X and YouTube. Some fans are calling this the greatest return in modern WWE history. Others are calling it a dangerous mistake. One fan wrote, "Cody's story ended. ALEISTER's nightmare begins." Another said, "If WWE lets this man loose, we're getting cinema." But there's another group, furious, saying this is proof that WWE is about to bury Cody's momentum again. They fear that Cody, the man who fought to earn his father's legacy, is about to lose it all to a man who's been waiting years to ruin him. The power of symbolism. I want you to think about the symbolism of what we saw tonight. Cody, dressed in white and gold, standing for light, legacy, and triumph. ALEISTER, cloaked in black, silent, unholy, representing sin, consequence, and vengeance. It's a biblical confrontation. The chosen son versus the fallen angel. Heaven versus hell. But here's the twist. ALEISTER doesn't see himself as the villain. In his mind, Cody is the false idol, the man worshipped by a blind audience. And that's what makes this feud absolutely terrifying. Because ALEISTER isn't fighting for titles. He's fighting for truth. What this means for WWE. If you're Triple H right now, you're dealing with a situation you can't control. ALEISTER Black is a force that doesn't play by the rules of creative scripts or corporate management. This is a man who moves in shadows, who crafts his own message, who doesn't wait for permission to strike. And with the kind of chaos he brings, the entire SmackDown roster is on notice. Cody Rhodes may have finished his story, but ALEISTER Black just started a new chapter, and the first sentence was written in darkness. What's next? Now here's where things get really interesting, because insiders are already reporting that WWE management is scrambling to figure out what's next. There are whispers of a possible match at Survivor Series, ALEISTER Black versus Cody Rhodes, but nothing has been confirmed. Some say ALEISTER might first target Cody's allies, perhaps Kevin Owens or Randy Orton, to send a message. But whatever happens next, one thing is certain. This confrontation wasn't a one-time event. This was the beginning of a reckoning. And as the lights went out again, his voice echoed just once through the arena. Remember me. Everyone will, ALEISTER. Everyone will. Final verdict, the outrage. Let's call this what it is. WWE just unleashed something they can't contain. You can feel it, The fear, the chaos, the unpredictability. Aleister Black didn't just return to wrestle, he returned to purge. Cody Rhodes is standing at the peak of his career, but that mountain just got a shadow cast over it. And if Cody's not careful, that shadow will consume him whole. Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing the beginning of one of the darkest rivalries in modern WWE history. Cody Rhodes versus Aleister Black. Light versus darkness. Legacy versus damnation. And it all started tonight on SmackDown. The closing message. So the question now, for every single person watching, is simple. Do you stand with the light, the dream, the legacy, the story that Cody Rhodes built? Or do you follow the darkness, the chaos, the truth, the vengeance that Aleister brings? Because this isn't just a feud. It's a war for the